The morning Savannah Blake arrived, attention crept into the office like a cold draft through a cracked window. There was something chilling about her, poised, immaculately put together, and entirely unforgiving. I was behind my desk, pretending to focus on quarterly reports, though every instinct warned me to brace for something. She walked in like she already owned the place. Heads lifted. Conversations stopped. Her navy suit was perfectly tailored, her heels clacked with rhythm, and her sharp eyes scanned every face like a hawk. When her gaze locked onto mine, I instinctively looked down at the file in my hands. "You're Ethan, right?" Her voice sliced through the hum of the office like a scalpel. "Yes," I replied. "Perfect." She dropped a stack of folders onto my desk like she was unloading trash. "Some light lifting for you. Don't strain yourself." I kept a straight face. Her eyes darted to my slightly worn tie and the loose thread at my collar. Her lip curled. "Do try to look presentable. We have standards here now." That was the first cut. Later that week, during a morning meeting, she asked for input on the Anderson account. I offered a suggestion, something I'd successfully implemented with another client. She stared at me blankly, then laughed. "That's adorable. No, we'll leave strategy to those who've read something more complex than the employee handbook." Everyone shifted uncomfortably. I nodded quietly, heat rushing to my ears. I started arriving earlier, trying to avoid run-ins, but she found me anyway. One morning, she stopped by my desk and tapped on my half-eaten granola bar. "No food at your desk," she snapped. "Especially not this." She said this like it was roadkill. "You can take your snack habits back to college dorms." I threw it away, swallowing hard. A few days later, I stepped into the elevator just as she was exiting. She looked me up and down. "You again?" she muttered. "This building is getting smaller." By Friday, I'd overheard her mocking me in the hallway with another manager. He tries to contribute like he's actually relevant. It's cute in a tragic way. I wasn't concerned. People like Savannah burned bright, fast, and then fell. What she didn't know, what nobody knew, was that I wasn't just another analyst. I owned 91% of the company, but I had my reasons for staying quiet. That Wednesday, she stormed into the office and slammed a document onto my desk. "Ethan, care to explain this garbage?" I looked down. It was an email to one of our biggest clients, furious complaints, threats to terminate. My name was on it. "I didn't send this," I said, frowning. She folded her arms, eyes narrowing. "Of course not, but the email came from your station." It hit me. Sabotage. This was deliberate. "I've never written anything like this," I insisted. Savannah scoffed. "You fumbled enough already. This is just another example. Just like you didn't forget to CC legal last week or leave a coffee ring on a signed contract. Honestly, you're more of a liability than an asset," she said sarcastically. Her voice rose, loud enough for people nearby to hear. "You know what? Maybe clerical work is more your speed. Color coding files, alphabetizing." She leaned in closer, smiling tightly. Less room for embarrassment. Mia from reception came over, looking alarmed. "Is everything okay?" Savannah turned with a cold smile. "Yes, Ethan's just explaining why he shouldn't be allowed near client communication ever again." I clenched my fists beneath the desk. This wasn't about the email, it was about humiliation. The next day, during a team presentation, I stood up to walk through a data visualization. I hadn't spoken for more than 20 seconds before Savannah interrupted. "Sorry," she said with exaggerated politeness. "Is this your attempt at public speaking?" A few people chuckled nervously. Savannah shook her head. "Let's just skip to someone who knows what they're doing." After the meeting, she passed by and whispered, "You're not cut out for this. Some people just aren't." By now, I had stopped reacting. Not because it didn't sting, but because I was waiting. When the shareholder meeting arrived, the air practically crackled. Savannah stood near the window, laughing with two executives. When I entered, she noticed immediately. "What are you doing here?" she hissed. "This is for leadership and shareholders." "I was invited," I said calmly. She scoffed. "Don't humiliate yourself. Just walk out before you're escorted out." But I remained seated because I knew what was coming. The president entered and opened the meeting. Then he paused. "There's a point of business we need to clarify. Regarding company ownership," he said. "Ethan Cole holds 91% of the company's shares." Gasps rippled around the room. Savannah's jaw dropped. "That can't be true," she stammered. He's just a lowly employee, I said, standing. Not quite. I'd been watching, waiting. And now, the truth is out. Her face drained of color. The president continued, Ethan's been our silent majority owner for years. Effective immediately, his authority is to be recognized across all departments. I stood. You said I didn't belong. Turns out I built this place. Savannah's face crumbled, but the final blow hadn't yet landed. The following morning, we were both summoned to the president's office. Savannah walked ahead of me. No swagger this time. Inside, the air was thick with consequence. You've both poured yourselves into this company, the president began. But what happened yesterday changed everything. Savannah tried to defend herself. I didn't know who he was. That's the issue, I interrupted. You humiliated people you thought were beneath you. The president nodded gravely. You belittled, insulted, and demeaned employees, Savannah. That includes our majority shareholder. She turned to me, eyes wet. Ethan, I didn't mean to. Yes, I said, cutting her off. You did. The president leaned forward. Savannah Blake, your conduct is unacceptable. Effective immediately, you are dismissed. She trembled. No, please, you can't. You may collect your things and leave by end of day. Security will assist. She turned to me one last time, pleading. I made mistakes, but I was under pressure. I didn't know. I understand pressure, I said, but I don't understand cruelty. She opened her mouth to argue, then closed it again. The president stood. This conversation is over. Savannah rose shakily, nodded once, and walked to the door. She paused, looking back at me. Her face, once full of arrogance, was cracked wide open by regret. I didn't say a word. As the door clicked shut, the weight in the room lifted. The president sighed. That wasn't easy, but it was necessary. It was overdue, I replied. He offered a faint smile. You carried yourself with grace, Ethan. I'm proud of you. Thank you, I said. Now, it's time to rebuild. And we did. With Savannah gone, the office felt lighter. The fear had passed. What remained was the quiet, steady strength. The company finally had room to breathe.